everyone. I would like to present about a feminist stylistic analysis of gender equality is your issue too by Emma Watson. Just because we would like to talk about the feminists, it means that our subject in this topic will about women and men. First, we have to give the definitions of feminism itself. In stylistic in feminism, the definition of feminism is what a group of women challenge on the subject of men being regarded as the center of the universe. In a patriarchal society, men rule the world. This feminist group, on the other hand, believes that men and women are equal in society. Furthermore, men use sexism to some extent for power relations, in which they dominate women. In addition to sexism, men can dominate women based on their race, class, education, and wealth. Women were not allowed to be as well educated as men at one time. They had no chance of providing any ability in any field, no matter what class or race they remained in. Men had the opportunities to succeed in any level of opportunity that society provided. Women felt and continue to feel, and there is no equality held for them. Next, we would like to analyze the feminism text. The author associates their thoughts with hidden meanings in context. This mysterious language lends a mystic perspective to literature. As a result, the reader's attitude shifts to one of curiosity, and he or she begins to ask questions while reading. Unfortunately, the female physical appearance is the main source of male satisfaction. This gravitation leads to sexism and pornography. As a result, feminists directly decorate their literary work with specific sentence patterns and sexism-related phrases. With the help of indirect language, the feminist author can express their hatred and disgust for men without exasperating the male reader. We do not define males to some extent that we define females. Okay, this topic specifically we'll talk about female sentence. Stereotypes, however, fails tend to persist for as long as they reinforce important social inequalities. Cameron writes. Cameron in 1985. The attempt to define the feminine sentence as lacking rationality, coherence, assertiveness, and so on is an attempt to establish a specific subject position for females in the real world. The female sentence in some ways challenges the gendered sentence. As with everything labeled masculine, male or feminine, female, terms have little to do with biological sex differences and a lot to do with power assertions. Number one, we will talk about metaphor in feminist literacy. The metaphor is one of the figures of speech used by many authors in their literary work. Authors of feminists use metaphors such as when you use a metaphor, you are drawing on a body of thought or background knowledge that may or may not sway your analysis or thinking about what particular object. Particularly if the metaphors being used are so called that the thought process involved in their use may not be as open to analysis as if less constructed phrases were used. Consider two metaphors and cognitive structures, one for males and one for females, because sexuality is described in these terms. Extreme male behavior, such as rape, may be understood to be only natural, said by us males. In feminist stylistic, a metaphor focuses on women, and the woman figure is used as the subject in all contexts. Feminists prefer to express themselves through metaphors in their writing. Here we go, we will continue about the methodology. The qualitative research method will be the foundation of the study's research design. The study is descriptive and interpretive in nature, as it investigates questions concerning ideologies, messages, and beliefs transmitted to society through language. The emphasis will be on a detailed analysis of the text in order for the researcher to gain a thorough understanding of the text and eventually provide interpretation and explanations. Next is analysis and findings. Emma Watson begins her speech by advising her audience that she and United Nations want to end gender inequality, and to do that, they need everyone to be involved. Emma Watson is a role model for all females around the world. She becomes a UN Women Goodwill ambassador for the He for She campaign. Watson's topic in this case vividly choose the topic which stands to affection, and of the feminist types, those are one of representation of women whose stressing of affective factor, because feeling is one thing which is subjective and tend to privacy area, yet in this case to involve to the laws that certain and practical. Okay, now we continue to the analysis and findings. As Holmes claimed, which has become guidance for these discussions of language and gender. Number one, women and men have different patterns when using their language. Two, women tend to focus on factors that are related to feelings that men, which could be seen in the words man hating, where hate is a mental process. 3. Women also tend to use language emphasizing solidarity more than men do. 4. Women usually tend to interact in activities that increase solidarity, especially in formal contexts, whereas men interact to level up their positions and women are more flexible than men. Next part is conclusions. In the interior study, a content analysis with a feminist challenge speech, Gender Equality is Your Issue Too, by Emma Watson, recalls to an audience on an approach where both gender representation should be equal. Her speech is to have a revolution, a change over the struggle on the women from the past. She draws in samples from her experiences. Additionally, she has used many figures of speech in her speech of literacy. Now Watson has hope perhaps she can change the new society's views among the ideas of feminism. As feminism is a strike against the patriarchal society, it aims to create equality for both gender. If the community becomes aware of equal rights, females will feel free to express their feelings in the same way that men do in society. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you.